What if I told you the pain you carry isn't your burden to bear forever? What if the betrayal, disappointment, or heartbreak could be transformed into the greatest power you've ever known? You're not here by accident, you're here because deep inside, something is telling you it's time to change. Today, we're going to uncover the secret to reclaiming your peace and turning hurt into power. This isn't just advice, it's a transformation. Welcome to Motivation for Success, your channel dedicated to turning life's challenges into stepping stones for greatness. Let's dive into this together. Life has a way of throwing us into the depths of unexpected hardship, doesn't it? It doesn't matter how strong you are, how much you've prepared, or where you come from, no one is immune to betrayal, heartbreak, or disappointment. These are the universal truths of the human experience, moments that remind us of our vulnerability. Denzel Washington put it best when he said, "The pain is real." The feelings of betrayal, of losing trust, they don't just disappear. They sit with you, they linger in your chest, in your mind, and in your heart. Take a moment to reflect on this. Think back to a time when someone you trusted, perhaps a close friend, a beloved family member, or even a stranger you had faith in, let you down in a way you didn't see coming. You trusted them with a piece of your heart, and they handled it carelessly, maybe even cruelly. Do you remember the sting of their words? The weight of their actions? It cut deep, didn't it? Like a wound you couldn't quite reach to heal. And here's the thing, you don't have to pretend it didn't hurt. Too often, we're told to move on or get over it as if acknowledging the pain is a sign of weakness. But what if I told you that pretending it doesn't hurt only keeps you trapped in that pain? The truth is, denial only deepens the wound. Denzel's wisdom shines here, you can't heal what you won't acknowledge. Those words carry profound truth. The first step toward healing isn't ignoring or suppressing your pain, it's facing it head-on. Take this moment right now, yes, right now, and reflect on your own experiences. Who hurt you? What words or actions left scars that you still carry? Don't push those feelings aside. Don't tell yourself, "It's fine. I'm over it." Instead, let yourself feel. What emotions rise to the surface? Is it anger? Sadness? Betrayal? Maybe even confusion? These feelings don't make you weak, they make you human. Acknowledging them is not about wallowing in sadness but about understanding the depth of your hurt so you can finally start to let it go. Think about it this way, if you had a physical wound, would you ignore it and hope it heals on its own? Or would you clean it, treat it, and tend to it until it starts to heal? Emotional pain works the same way. Ignoring it only allows it to fester, infecting every corner of your life. Facing it, however, is like cleaning that wound. It may sting at first, but it's the only way to truly heal. Now, let's get real for a second. Why is it so hard to confront pain? Why do we avoid it? Often, it's because facing it makes us feel vulnerable. And vulnerability can feel terrifying, like exposing a raw nerve to the world. But here's a perspective shift, vulnerability is not a weakness. It's the birthplace of courage and strength. Denzel's wisdom reminds us that strength isn't about pretending to be unbothered, it's about owning your truth and daring to confront it. Let me ask you this, what would happen if, instead of running from your pain, you chose to sit with it, even if just for a moment? What if you allowed yourself to feel the hurt fully, not as a sign of weakness but as an act of self-respect? Because here's the secret, when you confront your pain, you're not just acknowledging what happened, you're reclaiming your power. You're saying, yes, I was hurt, but this pain will not define me. The path to healing isn't always easy, but it starts with one simple, courageous step, acknowledgement. You don't need to have all the answers today. You just need to be honest with yourself. So, I challenge you, pause for a moment. Take a deep breath. Reflect on the emotions you've been carrying. Write them down if you need to, speak them out loud if you can, but don't bury them any longer. Because only when you face the pain can you begin to overcome it. You are stronger than you know, and this moment of honesty is proof of that strength. What's your story? Share it in the comments below. Let's start a conversation, because you're not alone in this journey. Together, we can move forward, one step at a time. In today's world, vulnerability is often misunderstood. Society has conditioned us to equate it with weakness, as if admitting we're hurting is a flaw, a sign of failure, or something to be ashamed of. From a young age, we're taught to toughen up, to hold it together, and to put on a brave face. Think about how often you've said, "I'm fine," even when you were far from it. But let's be honest, how many times was that statement more for others than it was for yourself? How many times did you say it to avoid confrontation, to dodge further questions, or simply because you felt no one would truly understand? Here's the hard truth: pretending you're okay doesn't make the pain disappear. All it does is bury it deeper inside you, where it festers and grows heavier over time. Imagine trying to hold a heavy object for hours. At first, you might manage it, but the longer you hold on, the harder it becomes. That's exactly what happens when you suppress your emotions. What starts as a small weight becomes an unbearable burden. Denzel Washington's wisdom shines brightly here. It's easy to tell yourself, "I'm fine. I'm strong. I'll get over it." But that's just a mask. It's a defense mechanism to protect yourself from the full weight of what you're really feeling. These words resonate because they cut to the heart of what so many of us experience daily. The mask we wear may shield us temporarily, but it also isolates us. It disconnects us from our true selves and keeps us from the healing we desperately need. So, let me ask you this: are you wearing a mask right now? Are you hiding behind a facade of strength, telling yourself and the world that you're fine when, deep down, you know you're not? Be honest with yourself for a moment. It's not easy to admit, but it's the first step toward reclaiming your peace. Think about it: why do we feel the need to wear this mask? Is it fear of being judged? Fear of appearing weak? Or perhaps it's the fear of confronting the raw, unfiltered truth of our pain? Whatever the reason, know this: the mask may feel like protection, but it's actually a barrier keeping you from true strength. Real strength isn't about suppressing your emotions, it's about confronting them with courage and grace. Denzel's message reminds us that healing starts with honesty. It's not about broadcasting your pain to the world but about being truthful with yourself. It's saying, "Yes, I'm hurting. Yes, I'm struggling. And that's okay." This honesty is not a sign of weakness, it's the ultimate act of self-respect. It's a declaration that your emotions matter and that your journey to healing deserves acknowledgement. Take a moment to reflect: what are you holding back? What pain have you been suppressing? Imagine what would happen if you allowed yourself to feel it fully, not to dwell on it but to face it, understand it, and begin to release it. This act of self-awareness is the cornerstone of true healing. When you admit your pain, you give yourself permission to move beyond it. Removing the mask isn't easy. It requires bravery, vulnerability, and a willingness to sit with discomfort. But remember this: the pain you acknowledge is the pain you can begin to overcome. By facing it, you reclaim the power it has over you. You stop letting it define your story and start writing a new chapter. So, ask yourself again: are you ready to take off the mask? Are you ready to confront what's beneath it? If the answer is yes, then you've already taken the first step. And that's something to be proud of. Share your thoughts in the comments. Your story might inspire someone else to take off their mask too. Together, we can redefine what strength truly means. When someone wrongs you, when they cut deep into your heart with their words or actions, what's the first thing you feel? Anger. Betrayal. Pain. And for so many of us, that pain ignites a powerful, almost instinctive urge: revenge. You want them to suffer, to feel the same pain they inflicted on you. It feels justified, doesn't it? After all, they hurt you first. But what if I told you that seeking revenge only tightens the chains of your suffering? Denzel Washington's wisdom sheds light on this: revenge is a trap. And the most dangerous part of revenge isn't what it does to the other person, it's what it does to you. Let that sink in. Revenge isn't about justice or closure, it's about handing over your power to the very person who hurt you. The more you focus on plotting their downfall, the more control they have over your thoughts, your emotions, and ultimately, your life. Take a moment to reflect. Think about the last time someone hurt you so badly that revenge felt like the only answer. Did imagining their regret or their pain make you feel better? Maybe for a fleeting second, but then what? The anger returns, stronger than before, chaining you to the same wound you're trying to escape. That's the cruel irony of revenge, it keeps the pain alive. Instead of letting the wound heal, you're tearing it open, over and over again. Denzel's words hold a profound truth: revenge, in its purest form, is poison. You think it will hurt the other person, but it destroys you first. It clouds your mind, darkens your heart, and blinds you to everything good in your life. The more you hold on to anger, the less room you have for peace, joy, or clarity. Revenge isn't a release, it's a burden. A heavy, suffocating burden that drains your energy, steals your focus, and keeps you trapped in the very pain you're trying to overcome. Picture this: you're carrying a backpack filled with heavy rocks. Each time you dwell on revenge, you add another stone. At first, it may seem manageable. But as the days, weeks, and months go by, the weight becomes unbearable. You can't move forward, you can't focus on what matters, and you can't enjoy the beauty of life because you're consumed by this relentless burden. Now imagine letting go of that backpack, dropping it to the ground and walking away. That's what it feels like to release the need for revenge. Revenge doesn't bring closure. It doesn't make you whole. It doesn't erase what happened. All it does is keep you tethered to the past, locked in a cycle of anger and pain. And let's be honest, the person who hurt you likely isn't losing sleep over what they did. They've moved on, while you're still stuck, replaying the betrayal in your mind, allowing it to consume you. Why give them that power? Why let them live rent-free in your head? Instead of revenge, choose freedom. Freedom from the anger, the bitterness, and the weight of what they did to you. Letting go isn't about excusing their actions or pretending it didn't hurt. It's about refusing to let their behavior define your life. It's about taking back your power and reclaiming your peace. So, ask yourself, is revenge worth sacrificing your peace of mind? Is it worth the emotional toll, the sleepless nights, and the joy it steals from your life? Denzel's words remind us that the answer is no. Revenge is a trap. Break free from it. Don't let their actions dictate your future. Instead, channel your energy into healing, growth, and becoming the strongest version of yourself. You deserve peace more than they deserve your anger. Choose yourself. Choose freedom. One of the most challenging truths to accept in life is this: you have no control over how others act. Think about that for a moment. No matter how deeply someone has hurt you, no matter how much you believe they should apologize, take responsibility, or change their behavior, you cannot force them to do so. Denzel Washington captured this reality perfectly when he said, "You can't control how others act. But you can decide how you want to move forward." Let's face it, we've all been there, replaying the hurtful moment in our minds, imagining how we'd make the other person understand the pain they caused. Maybe you've even rehearsed the perfect speech, one that would make them see their wrongs and finally apologize. But the truth is, you could deliver the most compelling words, and still, they might not change. Why? Because their actions and their choices are not within your control. They never were, and they never will be. Trying to control someone else's behavior is like trying to stop the wind with your hands. You can feel its force, but you can't grasp it, and the harder you try, the more exhausting it becomes. Imagine standing in a storm, shouting at the wind to stop, only to grow hoarse, frustrated, and depleted. It's a futile battle, one you can never win. The same is true when you focus your energy on trying to make someone else change. The more you push, the more drained and frustrated you feel. And here's the hard reality: the other person might not even notice your struggle. While you're pouring your energy into trying to control them, they're living their life, often unaffected by your efforts. So, what's the alternative? The answer lies in shifting your focus. Stop wasting your precious energy on things you cannot control, and start channeling it towards something far more productive: your own healing and growth. Imagine taking all the mental and emotional energy you've been using to dwell on their actions and redirecting it into becoming the best version of yourself. Picture the freedom that comes with letting go of the need to manage someone else's behavior. Instead of feeling weighed down by frustration, you could feel empowered by progress. Denzel's wisdom reminds us of the one truth we often overlook: the only person you can control is yourself. Think about how liberating that is. You don't have to spend another second trying to fix someone else, make them understand, or force them to do what you think is right. Instead, you can take that time and energy and invest it in yourself, in your peace, your happiness, and your personal growth. Here's a question for you: what could you achieve if you stopped focusing on them and started focusing on you? What new opportunities, relationships, or goals could you pursue if you let go of the need to control what's beyond your reach? The answer is simple: everything you've been holding yourself back from. The next time you feel the urge to change someone else's behavior, remind yourself that you are not responsible for their actions. You are only responsible for how you respond. Let go of the illusion of control, and instead, take control of what truly matters: your own life. Focus on healing the wounds they left behind, not by waiting for their apology or validation, but by choosing to move forward on your own terms. It's not about being passive, it's about being powerful enough to reclaim your energy and redirect it toward your own well-being. Remember, moving forward doesn't mean forgetting what happened or pretending it didn't hurt. It means refusing to let their actions dictate your future. It means deciding, today and every day, to prioritize your peace over their behavior. So, ask yourself, where will you focus your energy? On the uncontrollable, or on creating a life where you thrive regardless of what others do? The choice is always yours. Forgiveness is one of the most misunderstood concepts in life. Too often, people think it means excusing what happened, brushing it under the rug, or pretending the hurt didn't matter. But that's not forgiveness. Forgiveness is not about the person who wronged you, it's about you. It's about releasing yourself from the chains of anger, resentment, and pain that hold you captive. As Denzel Washington so wisely said, forgiveness isn't for them, it's for you. Think about this: when you hold on to a grudge, who suffers the most? Is it the person who hurt you? Or is it you? Imagine carrying a heavy stone in your heart day after day. That weight doesn't impact the one who caused the pain, it only weighs you down. By holding on to anger, you're giving them power over your emotions, your peace, and your happiness. It's like drinking poison and expecting them to feel the effects. Denzel's insight goes straight to the heart of this: when you choose to forgive, you're taking back your power. Forgiveness is an act of defiance against the hurt they caused. It's your way of saying, I will not let what you did define me. I will not let it control my future. In that moment, you reclaim control over your life. You free yourself from the cycle of replaying the hurt, reliving the betrayal, and re-experiencing the pain. Let's clarify something important: forgiveness doesn't mean forgetting. It doesn't mean inviting someone back into your life or giving them another chance to hurt you. Forgiveness is not about letting them off the hook, it's about taking yourself off the hook. It's about letting go of the emotional baggage that's been holding you back, choosing peace over pain, and prioritizing your mental and emotional well-being over their actions. Think about the energy you spend holding on to resentment. Every time you replay the hurt in your mind, every time you relive the anger, you're giving away precious moments of your life to someone who has already taken enough. What could you do with that energy if you chose to let go? How much lighter would you feel without the burden of that grudge weighing you down? Forgiveness doesn't mean the hurt didn't matter. It doesn't erase the pain or diminish your experience. Instead, it acknowledges the pain while refusing to let it control your narrative. It's about saying, yes, this happened. Yes, it hurt. But I am bigger than this. I am stronger than this. And I will not let this define who I am. It's a difficult choice, no doubt. Forgiveness requires courage. It requires strength. It means facing the hurt head-on, processing it, and then choosing to release it. But here's the beauty of it: when you forgive, you're not just freeing yourself from the past, you're opening the door to a future filled with peace, joy, and possibility. Ask yourself, what are you holding on to right now? What grudge or resentment has been weighing you down? Imagine what it would feel like to let it go, not for them, but for you. Imagine the freedom, the lightness, the relief that comes with choosing peace over pain. Forgiveness is not a gift you give to the one who hurt you, it's a gift you give to yourself. It's an act of self-care, self-respect, and self-love. By forgiving, you're taking the first step toward reclaiming your peace and writing a new chapter in your story, one where you are no longer defined by the hurt but by your strength and resilience. The power to forgive is within you. All you have to do is choose it. This is where everything changes, where the chains of the past begin to fall away, and the path to your true self opens before you. Transformation isn't just a lofty concept, it's a moment, a choice, a deliberate act of reclaiming the power you've unknowingly given away. When you let go of revenge, stop trying to control others, and embrace forgiveness, you're no longer tethered to what hurt you. Instead, you step boldly into a future defined not by what happened to you, but by how you chose to rise above it. Denzel Washington's profound insight captures this perfectly: you can choose how you feel in this moment and the next. Healing begins when you take back the power you've given away. These words carry a simple yet powerful truth: you have control, not over the actions of others, but over your own reactions, your mindset, and your direction. No one else has the right to dictate your peace, your purpose, or your happiness. Only you do. Now, pause and reflect. Ask yourself honestly, what kind of life do you want to live? Do you want to remain trapped in the weight of past hurts, rehashing the same pain, letting it define your days and dim your potential? Or do you want to create a life where you are no longer a victim of your circumstances but a victor over them? This is not just a rhetorical question, it's an invitation, a call to action for your soul. Picture the life that waits on the other side of forgiveness, the life where you no longer feel burdened by anger, bitterness, or regret. It's a life of freedom, where you wake up each morning with clarity, strength, and resilience. A life where your past no longer holds the pen, but you do, crafting a story filled with purpose and triumph. Letting go isn't easy, and no one will pretend it is. It takes courage to look at the pain, the injustice, the betrayal, and say, "You will no longer define me." But that courage is already within you. Every step you take away from revenge, away from the need to control, and toward forgiveness is a step toward reclaiming your rightful power. Think about what happens when you cling to the past. The anger and hurt consume your thoughts, steal your energy, and hold your happiness hostage. The longer you hold on to it, the more it becomes a prison, a cage of your own making. But the key has been in your hands all along. The moment you choose forgiveness, the moment you release the need to control what cannot be controlled, you unlock the door. You walk free. This freedom doesn't mean forgetting or condoning what happened. It doesn't mean the pain wasn't real or the actions weren't wrong. What it means is that you refuse to let those actions keep a grip on your life. You decide, here and now, to rise above, to live a life that's rooted in strength and guided by resilience. So, ask yourself again, what kind of life do you want to live? A life weighed down by resentment and anger, or a life lifted by the power of forgiveness and healing? The choice isn't easy, but it is yours. And in making that choice, you take the first step toward a life defined not by pain but by purpose. Embrace the transformation. Reclaim your power. The time to choose is now. Every experience, no matter how overwhelming or painful, carries within it the seed of transformation. Think about that for a moment. The heartbreaks, betrayals, and disappointments that felt like they shattered you, what if they were actually shaping you? What if they were laying the foundation for your greatest strength? As Denzel Washington so wisely put it, the struggles you face today will become the strength you use tomorrow. These words remind us that our pain is not the end of the story, it's the beginning of a new chapter. Let's reflect on this. Pain often feels like a weight, doesn't it? Heavy, suffocating, and impossible to carry. But what if you stopped seeing it as a burden and started seeing it as a tool? A tool for growth, for resilience, and for becoming a stronger version of yourself. Pain is a teacher, even though its lessons are rarely easy. It strips away the superficial and forces us to confront who we really are. And in that confrontation, we find clarity. We discover what we're capable of, what truly matters, and how deeply we can persevere. Your pain has the potential to be your greatest source of strength, if you let it. The key is perspective. Instead of asking, "Why did this happen to me?" ask, "What can I learn from this? How can I grow from this?" When you make that shift, you begin to see the power hidden within your struggle. You begin to understand that every setback is a setup for a comeback, and every heartache is an opportunity for healing and transformation. Take your pain and turn it into purpose. This isn't just about surviving what happened to you, it's about thriving because of it. Use your experiences to inspire others who are walking a similar path. Share your story, not as a tale of defeat, but as a testament to your resilience. Let your journey be a light for those who are still finding their way. There's power in your story, and it has the potential to create ripples of change far beyond what you can see. Think about the people you admire most. Chances are, their strength was forged in the fires of adversity. They didn't let their pain define them, they used it to fuel their purpose. You can do the same. Whether it's pursuing a dream, helping someone in need, or simply becoming the best version of yourself, let your pain be the catalyst for your growth. Let it drive you toward a future that's brighter and more fulfilling than anything you've known before. But here's the truth, transformation doesn't happen on its own. It requires action. It requires a choice. So, ask yourself, will you let the hurt control you, or will you rise above it? Will you let the pain dictate your story, or will you take the pen and write a new ending? The power to choose is yours, and that choice is where your strength begins. Now, it's time to take action. What will you do with what you've experienced? How will you use it to shape your future? Don't keep it bottled up, share your journey. Start a conversation in the comments. Your story might be exactly what someone else needs to hear. Together, we can support each other in this journey of healing, growth, and transformation. Remember, your story isn't over. Not even close. In fact, this could be the chapter that defines you, the moment when everything changes, when you decide to rise above and turn your pain into purpose. The choice is yours, and the time is now. Take that first step, and watch how far it can lead you. Now it's time to take action. Will you let the hurt control you, or will you rise above it? Share your story in the comments, let's start a conversation and support each other in this journey of healing and growth. If this video resonated with you, don't keep it to yourself. Subscribe to Motivation for Success and join a community that's dedicated to turning life's challenges into opportunities for greatness. Like this video, share it with someone who needs to hear this message, and remember, you have the power to transform your life. Thank you for joining us today. Remember, your past doesn't define you, your actions do. If this video inspired you, hit that subscribe button, like the video, and share it with someone who needs a little motivation today. Let's keep building a world where success begins with healing and strength. Until next time, take charge and make it happen.